cold, rainy day, like always. Hey guys, it's Jen. Yeah, I know it's been a while. It's been about a month or so since I last made a video. But, I'm in school and life happened. As you can see, my surroundings are a little bit different. I moved about a month ago. So, yeah, I've moved. I'm in school. I'm really busy right now with school. So, yeah, I haven't made a video in a while. So, sorry about that. But, yeah. This video is about pros and cons of living in the UK. So I've been here about 6 months now, and so I feel like I have enough lived experience to kind of give you my opinion of some pros and cons about living in the UK and studying here in the UK. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so pros about living in the UK. I guess pro number one would be that it's similar to the US or Canada in its culture. Probably more so to Canada than the US, seeing how it's like a commonwealth or whatever. But yeah, it has a Western culture. So like, for example, if you go from North America to, say, Japan or Korea, the culture there is a lot different. When you meet someone for the first time, you tend to bow to someone, whereas here, in the West, especially like in Canada and in America, people tend to hug each other, handshakes, that kind of thing. It's the same here in the UK. People tend to hug each other, handshakes, give you the 2 kisses on each cheek. So yeah, it's the cultures are similar, so it's not a huge culture shock. I mean, there is culture shock because it is a different country, but as far as it is to like a Western mentality, kind of the same. So I guess that's a pro about coming to the UK from another Western country. Pro number 2, I would say, is no tipping, especially in like America, where you have to tip. Anytime you're in like a kind of like service industry, like if you go to a restaurant or you're at a hotel, tipping is necessary. It's mandatory almost. It's kind of this unspoken rule. You have to tip because service industry workers, their salary that they make is not enough for them to live off of usually, especially like if you work in food industry. If you're a waitress or a hostess or something like that, you probably only make about $2 or $3 an hour, so you make your money off of tips. So in the US, you tend to tip anywhere between 18 to 20%. Whereas here in the UK, I think they're paid a bit higher. I think it's like £7.50, I think. I'm not sure about London, but I think outside of London it's about £7.50 or so is like the minimum wage. So you do earn a living wage, but so tipping isn't really a thing here. You can tip, but only if you feel like your service was like exemplary, like you had a really good experience, then you would tip. But it's not mandatory like it is in, say, like the US. You don't tip. What you see on the receipt or what you see on the ticket is what you pay, and no one expects to get tipped anymore. So that's a pro. I would consider it a pro. No tipping, which is great. Pro number 3, I would say, is healthcare. The UK has universal healthcare, so if you go see a doctor, you don't really have to pay anything. I've gone to the doctor a few times since I've been here, and I haven't paid anything. And I've had tests done, blood work done, and I haven't had to pay anything. So that's really great. Just universal healthcare, especially coming from, again, the United States, where that isn't the case. You tend to have to pay a lot of money, especially if you're uninsured or you have a pro-existing condition. You're expected to pay a lot of money to go see doctors. So that's a pro for the UK, free healthcare. Okay, pro number 4, I would say, is the drinking culture. This could be a con for you if you don't really drink, but if you moderately drink or whatever, the drinking culture here is pretty, I wouldn't say excessive, but everyone tends to drink here. Like, say, like in the US, you don't really drink during when you're at work, or when you go out to work, or if you go out to lunch. Don't really drink. It's frowned upon. But here in the UK, I've seen lots of people go off on their lunch breaks and go to like a pub and like have a beer with their meal. So, and that's accepted here. So drinking culture is a bit different, and it's a pro. If you like to drink. I like to drink, but if you like to drink, it's kind of a pro here. The drinking culture is a little bit different. Okay, and my last pro would be that because of the location of the UK, it's so much closer to all these other European countries. So travel to those countries are really cheap. So take, for instance, I recently just bought tickets to go to Ireland, and they were £10. Like, it was really cheap. And that's how it is for a lot of neighboring countries. You can go to Paris for about the same price, and you can go by train, you can go by ferry, you can go by plane, and it's cheap. You can go to Germany, all those other countries, Amsterdam, not the Netherlands. Amsterdam is a city. But yeah, all those neighboring countries are really, really accessible and really cheap to get to. So that makes traveling between different countries really affordable, and it's great for someone like me who's on a budget. You can travel and go to all these different countries for relatively not a lot. So I'm pretty excited about Ireland. I'll be taking you guys with me, and I'm really excited. And yeah, it's pretty cheap. So that's a pro. If you come to the UK, definitely try to see other countries in Europe, because it's really accessible to get to them and not a lot of money. Okay, so some cons about living in the UK. All right, number 1 con, customer service. The UK's customer service. Oh man. So like, okay, for example, the postal service here is crazy. So in North America, in Canada, and America, when you have a package coming to your house, you're getting a package delivered, typically you can track your package. They'll give you a number, you can see where it is, at what time, and when to expect it at your house. It may not come at the designated time, but it'll be around that time, like, you're never just sitting at your house all day waiting for a package. You relatively know like what time it's coming. Here in the UK, it seems like that system doesn't really exist. Like, say for instance, like I ordered something off of Amazon, and I can track it to a certain degree. Like, oh, your package has left a distributor, it's on its way, but you don't know what time. It's just going to show up on this day. So it's just like you're just there at your house all day waiting for a package that may or may not come, and most of the time it doesn't come. And they don't ring your buzzer, they don't ring your doorbell, they maybe will knock, and then they'll just leave like a note saying that you weren't there and to come pick it up. If they're really on it, they'll call you, which is always nice, but most of the time they don't. So then you have to get it redelivered, or you have to go pick it up from the post office, which can be really inconvenient depending on what you ordered or where you live. So I don't know, it's a crazy system here. Yeah, customer service here is kind of a mess. Number 2, again with the NHS, or the National Health Service, what they have here with the free healthcare. So on one hand, it's free healthcare, it's great, but on the other hand, the UK is going through a shortage of healthcare professionals, so there's not a lot of doctors. So that means your wait times are going to be so long. So again, take for instance me. I got referred to a respiratory specialist in December, and I'm not seeing them until May. So I just have to wait until May to see a respiratory specialist. It's crazy. So yeah, the NHS, one hand, it's free. That's good. On the other hand, extremely long wait times. You're gonna be waiting months just to see someone. Number 3, and I don't know, this is kind of self-explanatory, because it's the UK. But if you're not used to it, if you're not expecting it, it rains a lot here. Like, I just showed a clip earlier at the beginning of the video of the view from my window, and it looks like that 5 or 6 days out of the week. Like, it rains every day here. It's cloudy every day here. So if you have a problem with that kind of weather, I don't know what to tell you. Don't come here. I don't know. It rains a lot here. I don't have a huge problem with it, but yeah, it'd be nice to have some nice sunny weather every now and then. Some nice hot sunny weather. I can't wait for summer. So tired of being cold. Number 4. You have to pay for a TV license when you get a TV here. And that's because TV in the UK is accessible to everybody. You can get all the channels, not just your basic, 4 channels like you do in the US, but you can get a whole range of channels anytime you get a TV. But you have to buy what they call a TV license so that you can legally watch TV. Before, at my old place, I didn't have a signal, so I couldn't watch TV. So I didn't have TV tax. Well, I didn't have a TV license because, I wasn't getting signal, so I paid for a TV license. However, even if you don't have a TV, you'll get like mail into your house, like demanding that you have to get a TV license. Like, it's illegal to not have a TV license. Like, they really try to scare you with these letters, demanding that you pay for, a service that you may or may not be using. And there's no way for them to really check if you have a TV license or if you have a TV unless they come to your house. I haven't had anyone bother me. I have a TV license now because since I moved, I got signal so I can watch TV. It depends on how much it is. Usually you pay for a year of TV license. I think in London it's about £180, and outside of London it's different. In my area it's like £145, and you can pay that all up front, or you can do it like in monthly installments. So yeah, I've been doing that. I don't know, I mean, on one hand you get TV, but on the other hand it's just like, really? I have to pay a TV tax? And the last one, number 5. I was saying before how accessible it is to travel between countries in the UK. However, traveling within the UK is kind of a mess because the transportation system is privatized here. So one company would charge you a certain amount and another company will charge you a different amount depending on who you're traveling with. It's crazy. So take for instance, when I was living in Japan and in Korea, they had a national transportation system that you could use. Like you would have a card. Oh, I think I still have that card. Hold on. Okay, so in Japan, for instance, you would have something like this, and this is a Suika Card. And basically, it's just a transportation card. You put money on it, and anytime you go on like a train or a bus, you just tap this card on the turnstile, and it will just deduct however much money it is to travel to wherever you're going. Super easy, very convenient. And most people would have a little pouch that they would put this in, and so you don't even have to take out the card. You just like slap it on the turnstile and go. I had it in the back of like my wallet, and I'll just like slap my wallet onto it. In Korea, it was even easier because of our phones. So this is an old phone. This is a what is this? Galaxy S5. But if your phone has NFC, you turn that on, the NFC, and that will allow you to be able to charge money directly onto your phone. So anytime I would go on a taxi in Korea, or if I get on the subway, or if I get on the bus, I would literally just tap my phone to the little turnstile or the little button that they'll have, and it'll just deduct the money off of the NFC off my phone. So even when I would go charge it up in the train stations, they had a little area where you can just slap your phone in this area and just put money directly onto the phone. So it was super easy to do, and I loved it. It was you didn't even have to think about it. Here now, it's different because it's privatized. So depending on who you travel with, it can cost different amounts of money, and it's so inconvenient. I really, really hate it. Like, I took a train to Wales to go see a friend of mine, and it was so expensive. I can't tell you how expensive it was. It was like at least £100. It was so expensive to go and to come back. So much money just to travel to like Wales, like it's literally cheaper to travel outside of the country than it is to travel within the country. It's really inconvenient, and probably my least favorite thing about living here is the cost of transportation. I don't take public transportation a lot here because of the way how my city is and where I live. I'm within walking distance of a lot of things, so I would rather walk 30 minutes somewhere than to jump on a bus and go that way, because it's costly, not a fan. Okay guys, so those were my pros and cons about living in the UK. I hope this was helpful to somebody. If you guys like the video, please like it, subscribe, and comment below. Tell me what your pros and cons are about living in the UK. If you live in the UK, or if you want to go to the UK, what do you think some pros and cons would be? Comment below and let me know. And if you guys like these kind of videos, give me some suggestions, and I'll try to make some more. I'm really trying to keep up with content now. And I'll try to post more often. I know I probably say that with every video, but it is quite hard to find the time to make the video, edit the video, and post the video. So yeah, give me some time. And yeah, please give me some suggestions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.